Hello, welcome back to Jay's Rock and Roll Stories. I am your host, Jay. So today this episode is about Eric Clapton and Cream. So remember the last episode I did, which was about Eric Clapton after the Yardbirds. So I'm picking up from there. This is about Cream. So it all goes back to 1966, and we're at Ginger Baker's house, the drummer. Come on, you know this, right? So Ginger Baker, Jack Bruce, Eric Clapton, they developed sort of a basic repertoire of if you're a Cream fan, you know, Crossroads, Spoonful, I'm So Glad, I Feel Free, Train Time, and Toad. Those are like the little pocket songs that they have, right? So Clapton is just playing on like a simple amp, nothing compared to like, you know, the sonic assault that they would have later. They practice at Ginger's house or this other place called the Scouts Hall, which was in Wilderson, which was in northwest London. This guy named Ben Palmer, who was one of the very few witnesses of this beginning, right? And he said to Clapton, he was like, "Hey man, just let me know if you need a driver or anything." Like he knew this was something. So the next thing he knew, he was being introduced to Robert Stigwood and promoted to road manager, right? So this guy explains how in those early days, Cream was just really in shambles. They had no money, they had no material, they barely had any material, right? And they really had no clue as to what they were. And at the same time, even though the drive of their music is like, there's something here, we got to do it. The three of them are very oversensitive. Like there was a minimum of at least one feud happening at any given time. This guy hates this guy, or these two guys hate this guy. It's a bummer. It's not. It's not the Beatles all getting along. It's heavy, right? So Palmer, this guy, he also says that the other two, Ginger Baker, Jack Bruce, they were up and down like yo-yos. Like he was talking about how they were just like angry or intense all the time. And Eric Clapton, who's a little more passive, just kind of stood there with like a cigarette in his mouth, just kind of mumbling, you know? So he explains how Clapton at this time, this is post John Mayall. This is like after his like blues band, right? And Clapton wanted to do something a little far out. Clapton was in his Dada period. He really was obsessed. He kept telling everyone about this idea where he wanted to have a transparent top hat with a frog in it sticking out. That was like his thing. It was like his icebreaker or something, right? The most they could get out of this Dada period from Clapton was they would have a stuffed ape on stage, the early Cream shows. This is an old quote, like a later quote about from Clapton from this period. Clapton says, "We found that we ran out of numbers so quickly that we had to improvise. So we just made up some 12-bar blues, and that became Cream. Like the psychedelic blues became Cream. That became what we were known for. I liked it up to a point, but it wasn't what I wanted." So if you look at the first album, we'll talk about it. I mean, I'm just mentioning right now, if you look at the first album, all the songs are like 2 minutes and under. But Cream later became known as that is like psychedelic jazz, psychedelic blues rock jam. But that's not what he was going for. Anyway, so what began was small gigs, outdoor festivals, and like limited set list, sort of like they would play on and on. They had like this jazz rock based in their like free flowing like jam session, you know. that's what would happen at these outdoor sessions because they would run out of songs. They had like 4 songs, and like, oh shit, should we just do them all over again? No, we'll just jam. But people loved it. People liked it. That was what was cool, but that's not what they wanted to do. 1966, their first album, Fresh Cream, with the song by Clapton, I Feel Free, was their first top 20 hit. I Feel Free. Good song, look it up. Right? So at this time, Clapton with his girlfriend, we're 1966, a model named Charlotte Martin, they lived in a quasi-commune with a bunch of people in a loft. Clapton taking the role as like the boss, ordering roommates to, get him a bottle of wine or make him food or light my joint. Everything was usually kind of like laid back until Clapton wanted something, then all hell would break loose. Right? Here's the thing about, let me interrupt this. I've been reading the same book over and over and over again. I can't finish the book because I can only take these small doses of Clapton, even though I love him. Anyway, Clapton's walking around in his robes, listening to Indian sitar music, lighting incense, right? He's like the boss of like the commune. At this point in time, September of 1966, Jimi Hendrix, makes his way to England and becomes friends with Clapton, as well as John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Mick Jagger. The funny story in 1966 is Jimi Hendrix joins Cream on stage. And the place was called... they played at the London Polytechnic, right? Clapton announced on the stage, that cat from Seattle, right? He comes on stage, and Hendrix plays Killing Floor, the old blues song. And the story is that Clapton doesn't play with Hendrix. He puts his guitar down and he steps to the side of the stage and just watches, right? And I read several books where it's kind of like, it was like a surrender where like, I can't play this. I don't know how to play it, and walked off. But then after the show, Clapton has his arm around Hendrix, like, oh, you're my best buddy. So I think it was more of a like, dude, do your thing, man. Do your thing. Kill it. I'm over here. Kill it on Killing Floor, right? So anyway, the band Cream consists of 3 guys pushing each other, arguing about songwriting, stage volume. Everyone has an ego. They are set out to do each other. And Clapton has this quote where he says that he made virtuosity out of necessity. Just like this battle between the 3 of these guys, right? 1966, Melody Maker interviews Clapton. States that people will always listen with biased ears, look through unbelieving eyes, and preoccupied ideas, remembering what we used to be, and so on. The only way to combat this is to present them with as many facets of your music as possible. Like, so, I guess the thing with this band is that when you look at it, after Cream, they all went and did other things, Well, of course, Clapton had such a career, but even Jack Bruce had many other bands he played with, and then Ginger Baker had the Air Force, Ginger Baker's Air Force, and it's just, I think they all had this like tension that it was drawn, but it was also like magnets that are attracted but are like repulsed at the same time. It's nuts. So during this time, their manager, Robert Stigwood, is negotiating with Polydor and is quite successful because Cream are the highest paid band to book, right above the Stones and the Beatles. Are you kidding me? They're above them, right? Initially available at £400 a night. This is 1967 money, I think. £400 a night. The rate had tripled within 6 months. So Stigwood negotiated with Polydor for his own label, Reaction Records. Reaction also issued material by Hendrix, The Who, the Bee Gees, plus Cream, making it a 4-band deal. It's not too shabby, right? All right, Clapton is spoiled. Eric Clapton is spoiled. According to Pete Brown, the English poet, songwriter, Robert Stigwood was very protective towards Eric financially. He did everything in his behalf. Lots of creative accounting. Clapton only had to sign his name at the multi-numbers of bistros, boutiques, guitar shops, food, drink, whatever. He just had to go there, sign his name, and it goes back to Stigwood. Pretty freaking nice. October 20, 1967, Stigwood Incorporated, Marshbrook Limited. All right, so this is tricky here, right? Robert Stigwood is really looking out for Clapton. So his client, Clapton, this is sort of like he creates a deposit for performance fees and 98% of royalties in Clapton's name, right? The book says that in 1974, Clapton became Marshbrook Limited, the company's secretary, and throughout Cream, thereafter, the device allowed Clapton to draw a salary while protecting him from rates of British income tax. I looked this up online, and it says that the current recent director of the Marshallbrook Limited is Mr. Eric Patrick Clapton, appointed before 1991, active as 2023. It's like this industry of royalties and stuff. It's very clever, and if you're gonna fucking make some money, why not protect it, right? So, the guy did him right. This is 1967. Set him up forever. February 1967, Murray the K. Murray the K was a DJ in New York City, big time, right? So he introduced the Beatles, the Stones, the United States, and finalizes his roster at the annual Easter show at RKO Theaters. He has this Easter extravaganza show. It's fucking weird, though. The bill is Simon and Garfunkel, Wilson Pickett, Smokey Robinson, Mitch Ryder, The Who, and of course the Cream. The contract states, this is 1967, Murray the K. The contract states, the Cream must perform 5 times a day for 10 days. Good Lord. Okay, this festival would also entail circus performers, jugglers, freak show, little people. They're playing music for the kids in the morning, no one at the daytime they rest, and then pothead hippies at night. That's what the book said. I really wish I could find footage of this. It doesn't even sound real. Like, are you kidding me? A circus show with all these bands? I can't find any. Let me know, right? So Cream is staying at the Drake Hotel in March 22, 1967. During this time, Clapton is like a prankster. He's like a pain in the ass in the hotel. He's hiding your shoes. He's lighting firecrackers. He's doing that trick where you put a bucket of water on the unopened, like this partially open door. You open the door, the water comes on your head. And it's funny because like Wilson Pickett was part of this thing, and he like admonished Cream like, you guys, you got to behave. You can't be doing this shit. During that week, Clapton explores New York City, and he goes to Greenwich Village, and he meets Al Cooper, because Al Cooper just started the Blood, Sweat, and Tears. That was his band. He meets Frank Zappa. He meets Bob Dylan. And really, he is accepted in circles of, artists and bohemians. Because Clapton really had a background, with John Mayall and everything. The other guys, Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker, they were just kind of like, whatever, passed over. Who gives a shit? Clapton was praised, and if you look at this, okay, I know exactly what this is. Frank Zappa, Mothers of Invention, that album, we're only in it for the money. Look at that cover. There's Clapton right there, and there's Hendrix right there. This was there. All right. Here in New York, Clapton experiences his rock star groupie encounter at the Drake Hotel. Girls were introduced to his room in shifts. Here's a line from the book. I keep saying book, but the book is The Edge of Darkness. About Clapton. Really good book. Let's see here. Clapton says, New York is red hot. This is Clapton saying it. New York is red hot. There were both ends. Horrible, spotty scrubbers and really nice-looking middle-class chicks. An encounter with one of whom required hurried remedial treatment to a clinic. Oh, I love that part. Isn't that funny? All right, the final day at the Murray the K, the little goofy-ass Easter show, coincidentally fell on the same day as the very first Be-In. What's the Be-In, right? The very first Be-In was in San Francisco, Golden Gate Park, January 14, 1967. So we are a little bit after that. It's a Be-In. It's a big party. All the hippies getting together. Something is dosed. Something is dosed, right? So here at the New York Be-In, the popcorn was dosed. Everyone eating popcorn got dosed. And then when I'm saying dosed, meaning you're ingesting LSD, but it's LSD that's pure and it's not fucked. It's not stomped on or anything. It's probably made by the bear. What is his name? Bear Owsley. And it's not adulterated. It's clean. It's clean stuff. Anyway, so Disraeli Gears, the album, second album, comes out in 1967 of November. This is psychedelic music. It's using wah-wah. It's trippy. The trippy album artwork. When I was reading this book, I was going back and forth between, because like the year, you got the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's, and you got Disraeli Gears by Cream. And I was listening to them back and forth, and this is what I came up with. All right, so the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's is a little kid, and the Cream's Disraeli Gears is the bully of that little kid. All right, so man, I went down the rabbit hole on this one. So Sgt. Pepper's is like a good trip. A good trip. But Disraeli Gears is the bad trip. And it's literally too, because these guys hated each other. They did acid together, but they hated each other. So their normal acid trip, was a bad trip. So there's no difference. There's no context. You can't compare anything. It's a bad trip every time. It's not. It's not a bad trip. I'm just saying, I'm comparing the two together side by side. It's a fantastic album. It's this like onslaught of like rock blues with the first time anyone really used a wah-wah pedal. It's really in your face. They don't have the long jams. I recommend you check it out. But listen to both side by side, you know. And how did it do? How did Disraeli Gears do in the charts? It peaked at number 4 in the U.S. and number 5 in the UK. Not too shabby. It's a fantastic album, and I'm gonna end it here. And your homework is listen to what is the song? World of Pain. World of Pain. Weird song. I mean, if I'm going back and forth to Sgt. Pepper's in this album, it's strange, right? It's really strange. World of Pain. Look that one up. I'm going to stop here. We're going to continue with part 2. So, they don't like each other. They made 2 albums. And it's just going to get better, right? Probably not. Anyway. All right, everyone. Rock and roll. See you later.